Hey everybody, Doug here, Doug Mystic Eye. Getting ready to do turn 7 of 8 of Robinson Crusoe. Adventures on the cursed island, and this island is truly cursed, for us anyway. Just letting you know, last turn, just to kind of recap if you hadn't seen it. My explorer, the me of the game, got lost in the jungle and didn't find our way back to camp. But luckily we were carrying food with us so we didn't starve to death. In the meantime, Friday, our good man Friday here, whose card is flipped over, was killed by the poison claws of a puma, and we didn't have any medicine to cure him of it. So the pharaoh, the whatever, rabies, whatever he got, killed him. And then later on that night, our camp was attacked by a beast, leaving Jenny near death after we saved her from the rock. She barely killed the beast with a knife coming off the rocks, where she was starving and blistered skin from being exposed to the sun and the elements without any shelter for days and days on end. And anyway, just all kinds of fun stuff. But we're here for a new turn. So we're going to go on to turn 7 of 8. And the next thing we're going to do is this card here is now effectively gone. We get to execute before the event phase. I get to come back and I get to get a token according to this card. So we're going to do that. Now the token, so we're about to go to our event phase. The token is free wood. Not going to complain about that. Now, okay, at the beginning of the next round before the event phase, draw this. So I'm going to put that in our stash there, in our ready stash, because I think that might be okay. But I do want to make a correction also. This food that we haven't used, that's been sitting there, is perishable. It's a token, though it is food. And so it is gone. We did not eat it. It's perished. So as it stands this round, we got no food. And it looks like we're not going to have a production round. So unless something miraculous happens, which it's going to, by the way, just a little foreshadowing there, between now and the end of this turn, we're not going to make it. But we have some good news there. So let's draw our event card. Okay, here's our event card. Now we know what this is because we put it in there, and it's going to help us. What comes around goes around. Now remember, we fended off a predator and cat that came to our camp and attacked us many turns ago. And it says, regardless of the outcome, we shuffle this into a deck. Well, what happened was that beast we fended off wandered off and died. It says in the morning you find the dead body of the predator that has previously attacked you. You get 2 food and a fur, and then we draw another card. So drawing another card might be bad, but we immediately get 2 food and a fur. Now, because this is in the event phase, I don't believe that goes in our future stash. I think it comes right in. We found the body and brought it back to our camp. So it's accessible to us. This is before the actions phase. So unless somebody has a correction for me on that, that sounds reasonable to me. But next result is we are going to have to draw another event card. And let's see, the broken tree. Well, this isn't... Oh my... each player. So it says here, first we have to put the brown token back on the deck there. I gotta go find the brown token. I don't see it off the top of my head, but I will find it. And that's that brown token there. But it says a tree falls on your shelter. Each player gets a wound. Well, I can take a wound. Dog doesn't take a wound, but Jenny would die, which would end our game. So let me think about that and make sure that we're okay there. I also have to find the brown token to put on the camp the cards there. So hold on just a moment. I'm going to read on the card about Jenny because there's some specific information about her existence as a player. Oh, There's the brown token. It's going to go on there. So let me read this out loud to you just so you guys hear it. Special rules. Jenny doesn't change the cost. She does have to eat. She's affected by all events affecting all players. Okay. And the unfulfilled demand rule. So this event does come into play. I mean, guys, I don't know any way around that. Jenny died, and that's a condition of the game. Goal scenario. You can escape from the island. We have to reach 2 objectives. There are 2 goals in the scenario. First goal is to rescue Jenny. To do so, you need to build a raft item and then take an exploration action on the raft to bring Jenny to your camp. If Jenny dies, the game's over and the player loses it. Second goal is to build a lifeboat so you can escape from the island. If you meet these 2 conditions, the game is over. So I guess you could interpret this 2 ways. If you save Jenny from the island, but she dies, or from the rocks, but she dies later, does that count against the first objective, which is save Jenny from the rocks, and if she dies, you lose? Or second goal is to build a lifeboat. Doesn't say anything about Jenny in that, but I have to assume that the point of this is you rescue Jenny and the 2 of you get off the island, which we'll fail to do. So guys, I think we are going to have a very, very short video session here with this card. We have both taken a wound, both Jenny and I. I can take 1 wound, as you can see there. I just added it, but Jenny cannot. So it does kill her. I'm going to look in the book and see if there's anything that indicates whether or not that the goals of the scenario can be handled like that. I doubt it. I'm reaching, I believe. I think that you would have to get Jenny off the island as well, but let me think about that and I'll be right back. Yeah, so I can't see anything anyway around this. I've racked my brain. I looked just to refresh my memory on the Explorer abilities. Are all around putting out tiles, not around changing events or anything like that. So, twist of fate. Robinson Crusoe can do that to you, this game. That doesn't make the game any better or worse. It's just the way that it is. But I'm going to have to call it and say we lost Jenny, therefore we lost the game. Guys, please post. Let me know if you think I'm wrong on that. But if I put that card next to that card here, I think it just about sums it up. Let's go right there. Each player takes a wound. Jenny counts as another player. Jenny dies. We did save her from the rocks, and while that is 2 separate sections, I think I'm reaching to say that in having Jenny die, at this point we don't lose the scenario. Not that we were going to win anyway, but we were getting close on the wood. We just needed and we had 2 furs, so we only needed a few more furs as well. Okay, so guys, I believe that it calls an end to the game. I don't see any opportunity to correct that. But again, I'm going to leave the game out. I'm going to look for comments from you guys. Let me know if you think that this rule, well, here, I can take this stuff off, and we're going to put it up in everybody's face so everybody can read it. Okay, here, look. Let me back this up just a little. Where is the special rules? Goals of scenario. There. Okay, there are 2 goals in this scenario. First goal is to rescue Jenny. To do so, you need to build a raft item and then take an exploration action on the raft to bring Jenny to your camp. If Jenny dies, game is over, then player loses. That's goal 1. Goal 2, second goal is to build a lifeboat so you can escape from the island. If you meet these 2 conditions, the game is immediately won. Okay, we did meet the first condition, which we got her off the island, or off the rock, and she was still alive. She died later. So anyway, I'm going to leave it up for just a bit. I'm going to look for commentary. What do you think? And we'll leave it at that. So I'm going to call it here, very short, and I'm going to have a few comments on Robinson Crusoe. I'll just talk to you directly about that, and we'll have a little discussion, commentary. But please post your results. I'm not going to clean up the game yet, so we can go back and finish the game if need be, but I believe we're done. Thanks.
Hey guys, Doug here, Doug Mystic Guy.
just wrapping up this game, you saw how we ended with a very, very unfortunate event card that probably cost us the game. Not that I was going to win anyway, because this game is really challenging, but I like that. I'm just going to say, there are additional scenarios that come with the game. There's quite a few of them. There's some, I saw some posted online as well. There's also different characters you can play. You can play a cook or a carpenter. If you haven't played the game, there's lots of options. Anyway, I'm going to kind of say this is a bit of a little bit of a summary review. Just you saw how the game played. It's one of my favorite games in regards to just I love breaking it out and playing it solo because you get to tell a story, and it's a lot of fun to see how this rolls out. And I try to throw some of the story parts into the dialogue as I was filming and let you feel some of the story about Jenny. And oh man, good game. Anyway, the scenario's a little tough. It's shorter than some other ones, only being 8 turns. And I'm still debating whether or not we lost Jenny in that, if that mattered, but I believe it does. So if you're in my review, if you're one of those players that can't deal with random chance affecting you like that, then don't play this game. This game is like many other cooperative games. There's very few that I've seen that don't throw a zinger at you in regards to random chance. I don't think that's a problem necessarily. It's just it's your style of gaming. Now, I like both actually. So kind of like food for me. I'm pretty open. I'll do just about anything. I'll play just about any game. I'll eat just about anything. I'll do just about any sport. I'll jump off a cliff if I got the right equipment. I don't really care, as long as it's fun. And this is fun. The game is fun. You saw how the story developed. It's great. But there is a random element to it. Trying to think of some of the games that I played this week. Sunday I played Yido, which is, some people call it Lords of Waterdeep on steroids. It's a worker placement game where you're a Japanese family trying to solve missions for your family, and there's a watchman that's capturing your people. There's a lot of randomness and screw you events, and that I like that too. That's fine. I also like other games that don't have any chance or dice rolling. It's all strategic, and your thought process guides you to a victory. Played Imminent Domain, but right before that, right before we played Yido. Imminent Domain is more of a card game. It's a space game, but it's kind of like Dominion in space. There's different rules, so I'm not going to call them similar, but there's no chance in that. It's all very. I won that one, by the way. That was great. I did not win Yido, but and I did not win this, obviously. This being Robertson Crusoe, but anyway, kind of rambling on about this. What I really want to say is that if you're open to games that throw zingers at you in the form of chance, then you will like Robinson Crusoe. It plays equally well solo as it does with people. I think the fun thing about playing with others is the interaction, because unlike a lot of games where you're taking your turn and your turn is not intermingled with the turns of others, in this you can share actions. Like, for instance, if I'm the carpenter, I can go build 2 things and use my special abilities on 2 things, and if you go with me and spend your 2 pawns on the things I'm building, then we're guaranteed success, but I still get to use any special abilities I have because I'm the first one building it. Things like that. There's this interaction that takes place. It makes it fun. People deciding, well, if I go help you with this and you do this, it's just, there's a lot. And like all really good cooperative games, you kind of sink or swim together. But anyway, one of my favorite cooperative games by far is this one, and I hope you enjoyed the playthrough. As I say, and I'll always caveat my videos with this, I'm going to make some mistakes while trying to film and keep track of everything. I think we did okay. I had a couple of things that rolled the brown dice instead of the green dice, and we did retract. I'm not going to call it a mistake because I did it consciously in trying to interpret the rules myself, but in hindsight, I'm like thinking, well, I probably couldn't take that action of building the raft and going to get Jenny, even though I had people argue both cases. That just didn't feel right after I sat down and thought about it, so I took that back. But it wasn't really a mistake. And then, the one thing that I did do is just not play as effectively, so we lost. random events can really hurt you there. The puma with the poison, and the fact that I completely failed to build the pot, which we had a token that would have allowed us to use the cure right after that, and then Friday wouldn't have died. I don't know, would that have changed something? Probably. Probably because Jenny may not have, I could have killed Friday then instead of Jenny taking the wounds from the beast attacking the camp, and then she would have survived the last event where the tree fell on our shelter and killed her. By the way, Forrest cried profusely over that one, losing Jenny to a falling tree. It's pretty rough. But could that have changed the outcome if I had been more careful? Probably. Anyway, fun stuff just the same. So please, leave your comments, subscribe, share, talk to me, tell me what you think about the game. Love to hear your feedback. Again, I always, when I film this part, I usually open up my closet so you can see what's back there behind me in the game closet. I have games on other shelves too. My wife's getting a little frustrated with the amount of games I've managed to accumulate over the last few years. It seems to be once you go down that path, you end up with a lot of them. Games are so different than they used to be. It's just an endless amount of good stuff. But anyway, if you see something back there you really want, someone mentioned Archipelago. I've played that solo a few times. Talk about a game where you can make mistakes though without someone else watching over your shoulder or playing with you. That's a doozy. So I'm kind of working up the courage to play Archipelago solo for you guys. There's a whole box of solo scenarios, cards that are all solo. It's pretty cool. I said I played a couple of them. I feel comfortable with the game. I just don't know, filming and playing, I might not do so well. Not from a gameplay standpoint, but there's a lot of little bits. It's a very complex game. But this one, if you get a chance, I do think it's still available if you went out to Miniature Market or Cool Stuff Inc. Online. I don't know if you can find it in local stores. You probably can. Robinson Crusoe, Adventures on the Cursed Island. Big thumbs up for me. Do enjoy the game. Plays wonderfully solo, equally well with other players. The fun part with other players is the interaction that you get. But there are going to be random events that turn the game south on you, just like you saw with our playthrough. So if you're good with that, then the game is good with you, and you should enjoy it. Anyway, thanks for watching this series. It wasn't as long as I thought it would be, and it's a short scenario to begin with. But we'll get on to the next one. Also, please post what you want to see next. What you want me to do next. I'm going to do a couple of short things. Had some things come in over the past week I'd like to talk about, and then I will also get ready for another big playthrough. Advice. I've been asked a couple of times now to do something for Mansions of Madness that includes the expansion, the Call of the Wild, Into the Wild, Call of the Wild. And as a solo game, I can't find anything for. I can find things for the base game to play solo and make it make sense. I can't find anything that includes the expansion. So, if you have some advice for me on that, that would be wonderful. I'd love to hear it. Write me, video me, email me, whatever, and I'd love to hear it. But I'm going to close out now. Again, if you think we ended the game correctly and with Jenny's death ending the scenario, let me know. I'm going to leave the game up for a day or so, just to make sure everybody doesn't jump on and go, "Hey, no, man, you should still be able to complete the second part." I don't think so, but maybe you all do. So holler at me, let me know, and thanks again so much for watching. I really do appreciate it.